Hello and welcome back to The Magical Lifestyle. My name is Sarah, and on this channel we talk about Disney World specifically, and a healthy lifestyle. So today's video is going to be a lot of chit chat about just a quick recap of my past trip. You can watch all about that, what my future plans are for 2025, what I've been up to this past month and a half from kind of just going MIA, still here. And yeah, so not gonna be too long, but grab a cup and we'll get to it. So I do want to talk about this cup first. Look how beautiful it is. I am a personal trainer, and I do lead a team of personal trainers. So one of my coaches got me this for Christmas, and I am so forever grateful for that. It is beautiful. A month and a half has gone by since I got back, wearing one of my favorite shirts that I got on my trip, and my lovely necklace is back in action. I love it so much, and I am so happy I was able to snag that one. But yeah, when I got back, I definitely had the Disney blues, and I just wanted to go back so bad, mostly because of the weather, but then also gearing up towards the holidays, I was able to kind of just set gear into that. So it wasn't as bad as usual, but it definitely got me thinking about when I wanted to go next. And I'll talk about that down the line in this video. But yeah, since coming back, I did a program-based detox where you buy a kit. It does have, I don't want to call them meal replacers, but it has bunch of vitamins and minerals, fiber, things that you need for the day to help you detox, because you can only eat a certain list of foods. The one that I specifically did, you could eat any organic meats, veggies, fruits, basically everything except inflammatory foods. I did have to cut out, I got my plan here, gluten, wheat, dairy, soy, corn, eggs, peanuts, alcohol, added sugar, excess caffeine, and grapefruit, which the grapefruit is because it interferes with some enzyme functions. So a big part of that, I wanted to see if I was sensitive to anything, because for the past year or so, sometimes when I did eat foods, it didn't agree well with me, and I just felt inflamed all the time. So I did not want to do that before I went to Disney, because I knew I was going to have all of those foods. So I decided to do it when I came back. So I did it during the Thanksgiving season, but that's okay. And come to find out that some foods do inflame my gut and inflame my body, which are gluten and dairy. I really thought eggs were going to be in there too, but super good with eggs. However, I did add different kinds of dairy and different kinds of gluten back in. So sourdough bread, completely fine. I just get an organic brand from Whole Foods. And dairy, it depends on, I really only tried cheese and yogurt so far. So cheese I added back in. I can't do like heavy cheddar cheese, but feta cheese is fine, goat cheese is fine. So it really depends on the additives into it. So if I get like the really, really clean version, which we should all be eating anyways, settles well. One of my clients also got me where they live. They have this store farm, a bakery, I don't know what it is, but now they're known for their yogurt. So he brought me some literal homemade Greek yogurt, and usually I cannot tolerate, or I can't stand the smell of it. It just smells disgusting anyways. So I have to add some protein powder into it. But this one, like, I could smell, I could eat, and everything, it's beautiful. It was like the best yogurt I've ever had in my life. And now I'm gonna have to go and get some. And it's probably a 45-minute drive from where I live, and that's fine. But comes to show you what you're putting into your body definitely correlates with how you're feeling. And voila. So now that I know what foods I'm sensitive to, I'm going to stay away from. And this is going to be a nice challenge for me coming into the new year, as I am traveling and still trying new foods at Disney, regardless of all the times that I've been there. Just trying to navigate around that. So it'll be a nice little challenge the next time I go, and keeps it fun and interesting. But I will say, all the food that I did eat on my past trip, I felt pretty good about it. I tried to eat clean, but I also wanted my treats too. So I didn't go overboard, and I still stayed within how I usually eat at home. So again, this will be a nice new challenge and we'll see how I feel moving forward. So that's really what I've been up to, because when we had Thanksgiving, we had Christmas, and just running around, doing everything. My tree is still up. I had my parents, my brother, and my grandmother over on Saturday. Today is Monday, December 30th. My half birthday, by the way. So we're going to celebrate with this. I will probably take this down on New Year's Day. I took the day off, because everything right now goes in the garage. And this morning when I went into the garage to take the trash out, there was a bat. So I've been dealing with bats in the attic since August. Now there are mice and bats in the garage. So thank God. I literally left the door open since this morning, like the garage door, like to the outside, hoping the bat would fly away. I don't think it'll fly away until tonight, when it wakes up. I keep trying to make like really loud noises just so it'll wake up and maybe scatter off. But yeah, so I'll keep you updated on the bats. That's been a fun time. But yeah, nothing else too crazy. Started to plan for 2025. So some new habits that I am doing that I kind of just made up within the past week. I shouldn't say made up. I am going to use a planner far more often than what I am used to. So I used to get the hourly planners. Now I'm trying to switch over to my iPad, just because one, I don't have to buy anything. Two, I have a pen, like the Magic Pen. And three, why go out waste paper when I can just use my iPad? I carry it around with me all the time, so now I can just use that. This is what I'll be using, and what you can do, you can kind of just swipe through, and these are all links. I don't know if you can see that really well. There you go. These are all links to the month. So if I hit on January, it goes right to a calendar, which I have some things already on there. And then if I hit on a day, I'll go for Friday, January 3rd. I already started blocking off some things where I'm working. I'm going to be walking before work, reading to better the brain. So I have been reading a lot recently, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then I have a Pilates class. And then from there, you can swipe over. There is also a week view. And yeah, so I'm really excited about that I'm going to start using. Also, another client bought me a running journal. So I got into running this past year. I ran the Springtime Surprise 2024 back in April. And then I ran a half marathon in DC in September. I signed up for a full marathon in Long Beach, California next October. So I was never a runner before this. I ran track, and I think there was one summer in college that I just ran almost 5 days a week in the summer, just because I wanted to, and then I just stopped when the winter came. So it is a running journal by the pro runners, Lauren and Roe. Two different people. And look at my bookmark that I have from the Riviera. Love it so much. That's when I went to eat there for Topolino's at breakfast time in April. But yeah, so this I really enjoy because each month, so it's a year planner or a year journal, and each month it has maybe like 10 pages worth of information. And then from there, I didn't do this week's yet, but it has a focus, and each day you can write how many miles that you ran, what you did, how it felt, and just your thoughts. So it's a little journal that you can keep. I did this as I started my marathon training. So that's really cool. It talks a little bit about nutrition, about different workouts, and more of that mind strength, I'm going to say, to get you to that marathon point. Because it's a lot of mental. Like, you could probably run. Your body could handle that, but it's all mental. Kind of getting back into that. So I signed up for the marathon, which leads me to my trips of 2025. I booked 2 Disney trips. Technically 3 if you want to count one of them. I am taking my first trip in June. It is right before my training starts. I'm going to take a long weekend from end of work day on Friday to Monday. And I'm going for my birthday and just to celebrate and get ready for my training for my marathon. And then my next trip is, again, in Long Beach, California in October. That's the marathon that I'm running. So I'll be there from a Friday to a Tuesday night, in which I am 20 minutes away from Disneyland and California Adventure. So I will be going there for a full day. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do like 2 days or one full day, because technically I really don't know what the weather is going to be like in October. But I will be running the marathon on Sunday. Saturday, I'll be going to the expo, kind of doing all my race prep. Monday, I will go to the parks. And then Tuesday, my flight's not until 10:45, in which I am flying to Orlando. So I don't know if I'm going to take that as like more of a chill day, or we'll see what I get done. So I'll take a red eye over to Orlando, arrive at 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning, straight to the parks, and I'll be staying there until Saturday, maybe Sunday. I already booked all my flights in my hotel and everything. I will release that as time comes on, because I am doing something that I said I will never do again, and yeah, I changed my mind about it. So just in case if I change my mind again, I'll keep that secret for now, and then I'll explain that as the time comes forward. So that's just a little bit into my plans for 2025. So I'll be doing a running journal, a planner, just to stay organized, because I want to add some things back into my life. I do have an acupuncture pad. I am starting more of Pilates. I am also a Pilates instructor, but I can never get down to the reformers and do it myself, just because 1, I'm not motivated to do so. 2, it's at my work and I don't want to stay there any longer. 3, I like somebody to watch me because my hips are very hiked up and twisted. So if I'm doing something incorrectly, I would very much like somebody to assist me in that. So I'm starting at Pilates actually this week. Also, reading a lot. So I am into A Court of Thorns and Roses, the whole series. I'm on book number 2 right now. I am stuck on a chapter right now. I read on my Kindle, so it tells me I have 23 minutes left. I usually read right before bed, but sometimes I don't have 23 minutes and I'm like, I can't start this chapter without finishing it. So took a little pause on that. This week, I'm getting right back into it with my planner. I kind of like having that set schedule. So then I'm like, okay, I do this at this time. I do this at this time. And so I'm going to be reading that. I want to get through these books, and not quick. I want to read them because I'm really interested in them. And I've been listening to Mel Robbins a lot. One of my clients, same client who got me this book actually, got me the 5-Second Rule book. So I've always wanted to read it. I think I listened to the podcast a while ago, but I'm very excited to be venturing off into the book. And I just ordered her Let Them Theory one. So I would prefer to read those as I'm walking on a treadmill rather than like a fantasy book, just because that's going to help me get to sleep. My self-help books are going to help me throughout the day. And I'm also getting back into acupuncture. I used to go to a clinic to do acupuncture for my shoulder. It started off with my neck. I had like a really, really bad knot, I guess, right here. Went to acupuncture. It has helped tremendously. It helped me relax. My anxiety went down, and it just helped me overall. So then I decided to buy a acupuncture mat. So it has a little pillow and then you lay on it. And I want to start standing on it for my feet, because that'll help with my running a little bit too, just because my arches are getting very wonky and I need to start taking better care of that. And I want to be able to lay on it at least for like 10-15 minutes a night and get back in my essential oils. So I just ordered a new kit, 2 new diffusers. I've already been using them every single day. I have one going right now. I don't even know if you can hear it in the video. It's just little trickly noises, almost kind of like it's raining or someone's pouring water. So lots of things coming in 2025. So that leads me into where this channel is gonna go. I created the Magical Lifestyle so I could just have a place to put everything. And it just so happens it started out with my Disney trip. So I will still be sharing a lot of Disney, mostly of my experiences going into the parks and how I plan and do things that way. But I also wanna start incorporating what I look for as I plan. I kind of did that on the last one, more like what dining reservations am I going to get? How am I going to navigate this gluten and dairy thing going into the parks? Am I going to do that, or am I just going to eat what I want to eat? Things like that. It all depends on how I want to feel during this trip. So this channel is just like a spot to put everything. I do want to include some more of my running and my healthy lifestyle as well too, because I feel like I want to be that guide for you to be able to go worry-free on a vacation or try to incorporate some new lifestyle habits into your life. Things like that. So I am very type A, I am very organized, and that's just what you're gonna see here. And yeah, so I did say this was not gonna be the longest video in the world, and it is just going to be a chit-chatty video. But coming up next, within the new year, we'll get into more of my running, more of my lifting, and more of my eating, and some planning of my Disney. So yeah, here's a little recap about what I've been up to, where I'm going, and this channel is kind of geared towards a little bit more of that healthy lifestyle until we start prepping and planning for Disney. And if you want to follow along, but that's what the Magic Lifestyle is. If you have any questions or any topics that you want me to hit on, leave them in the comments, message me on Instagram, I'll leave it down below, and I hope you all have a happy and healthy and magical new year, and I'll see you in 2025.